Next, I'll be showing how to make yam and tofu sauce. These are the ingredients for the tofu sauce. This is the tofu itself with tomato, onions, pepper, different peppers, runner beans, cabbage, cauliflower, you can see, and tofu, which is the real deal. So they've been chopped into smaller pieces. The chopping has been done. You can look at this, look at the sides, the yam.
You can decide to cook the yam unpeeled to preserve micronutrients,
so that cooking can begin. Look at this tofu. That's the tofu. Tofu is from soya. And look at the yam. I'm not going to salt this yam, different vegetables, but I like cutting my yam into smaller pieces. It gives me the illusion that I'm eating a larger quantity of yam. So a slice of yam I may cut into 3 or 4 pieces, so that when I'm eating, let's say I'm going to eat 2 slices of yam and I've cut it into 3, a slice into 3 or 4, and then I have 4 or 8 pieces on my plate. It gives me the subjective feeling that I'm eating more. So I like to do it like that. That's the reason why I like to cut into smaller chunks, so that it gives me that feeling that I'm eating less, I'm eating more. And then look at the cabbage and look at the spring onion, look at the spices here, the different spices I'm using here, the spices. But if you want to reduce the amount of salt in your food, you have to really invest in the use of spices: country onion, paprika, cumin, roasted garlic, fresh ginger, fresh turmerics. They are good and they have different functions. They have a great way to bringing out the umami effect, make your food delicious whilst not compromising on its healthiness. You want a palatable meal, but not hyper palatable, and that's what the commercialized meals, that food, that's what they do. They cause they add things to make the food hyper palatable, so that people can get addicted and keep coming back for more. But with the use of spices, your homemade meals with addition of spices, that's great. So we'll get right into the cooking. I've cut the onions too. Tomatoes are very good. If you want to reduce the amount of AGEs in your food, acidic things that are acidic, things like tomato and use of lemon, it's very good for cooking in order to reduce advanced glycated end products in your meals. So tomato is a great way to do that. Use of apple cider vinegar, use of lemon. So my yam is cooking, but I want to ensure that I put the right amount of water in the yam, so that I don't lose the micronutrients of the yam in the water used to boil the yam. So you put sufficient amount of water just to cook the yam, so that at the end of cooking there's no water left. Yam has vitamin C and some other water soluble vitamins, so you don't want to lose those vitamins in the water that you have used to cook it. So you just put the right amount of water to cook it to finish. And this is a non-commercialized
Britodo spice
advert. I got this spices from Spice. These spices are amazing, and okay, this is not a paid advert. She didn't pay me to do this, but Her spices are amazing. I used to make my spices myself, but when I discovered her, I stopped making my spices myself. She have different ranges of spices, and I'm going to be using the multi-purpose spice there. And then I'm adding salt. And you must measure your salt. I've added about a half spoon of salt in there. Don't worry, my hands are clean here. I'm trying to squash in the tofu. The tofu sauce actually looks like egg sauce. So if you are looking at reducing the amount of dairy you take, tofu sauce is great for you because it looks exactly like egg sauce. Anytime I serve this at home, the children usually can't tell the difference. Even my partner, many times. You can see that oil is not flowing in this sauce, even though a little frying, sauteing was done for the pepper, for the onions and all that. Oil is not flowing here, and I made sure to use an oil that has a high smoking point. I prefer peanut oil. That is what I use. And at the end of here I'm also adding dark soy to my cooking for the extra flavor. The amount of sodium you get in an equal amount of dark soy sauce compared to normal table sauce is reduced. At the end of my cooking, I'm going to add extra virgin olive oil for flavor. You shouldn't use olive oil for frying. You can use it for dressing, and then you can add it at the end of your cooking for an extra flavor. And olive oil is quite good. It's that's that. I'm mixing it in at that point, and at that point I'd turn down the heat, so I'm just mixing the olive oil into the sauce. Olive oil actually has a very low smoking point. I'm trying to bring the process of cooking this sauce to you at the previous, and this is the yam. You can see the water is dry, and this is my sauce, already made sauce, perfectly made tofu sauce. It's perfect, right? It looks like egg sauce. For those that love egg sauce, this is a great alternative. And the amount of protein and other micronutrients you get from this, it's filling, it's nutrient dense, and that's what it's about. Then you can pair it with your yam.